Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Butterbar here. So, I haven't actually done a little just commentary about, what is, kind of going on in my life in the past couple of days, and kind of told you guys like why, why, why is my channel called Butterbar? I really haven't gotten into the history of who I am, and I feel like this is the video to do it. This is a video to kind of introduce myself to you guys. And just kind of put myself out there. This whole YouTube experience is all about me trying to put myself out there, always wanting, always talking about man, I really wish I had a YouTube channel, or man, I really wish I could get out there and be a bigger part of the community. And this video, I just kind of want to use it as something where you guys better know me as who I am, so I don't become just like this voice for streaming videos and doing these commentaries, and you don't even know who I am or why I created the channel that I have, or the reason why I call it Butterbar. So just get into the next the past couple days. Not a whole lot has been happening. I mean, I'm still really enjoying my fire job, and I'll kind of get into kind of the reason why I got into that, kind of in the history. But we had a big fire out in Kansas City a couple days ago. It was a really big fire in the Kansas City area, and a lot of people went out to it. I was actually off that day, and I wasn't around to actually go to it. But man, this thing was a blazer, and I can't believe nobody died. There was a property damage, but nobody died, and that was like just a big miracle of the entire thing. So that's been kind of going on in my life. Nothing too spectacular. We did CPR, and I kind of got into that in one of my previous videos of what I did, but nothing, I guess, to that scale besides the fire that happened on my day off. So I'll kind of get into, I guess, the history on what made me, what compelled me to do, and start up a YouTube channel, and just kind of see, what you guys think of, where I'm going with it, but also too, like, that way you guys, get to know me, and I feel like that's the best thing. We need to have this, this conversation, this community with each other, and this relationship. We're building a relationship with one another, and I feel like if you guys don't know who I am, why I do things, why I talk about certain things and I don't talk about others, and kind of the history and why I do certain things, I feel like this is the video to do it. So I grew up pretty much in the Midwest all my life. I mean, I am definitely a Midwest kid. I love being in the middle of the country. And I love the country, the atmosphere. But Kansas City is actually like one of those cities you get pretty much the best of both worlds. If you want to go to the city, you have the city. But if you actually want to go out in the middle of the country, live that farm life, and just get away from everybody, you can. You absolutely can. And I just love the Midwestern values of treating people with respect, saying please, saying thank you, just all the values that I've pretty much grown up with. And when I got into the Army, and I'll kind of get into that story. Well, here, I'll go and get into it now. So went to college, went into an ROTC program because I didn't have any other way to pay for college. I didn't want to have, the burden of my family paying for it. So I didn't have a job or any big income to actually afford it myself. So I took the option, and my dad actually helped me with this option too, to do ROTC, to become an officer in the Army. And I have to say, that was probably the best decision I've ever made. It was definitely an experience. I got a free ride through college, and the only kind of thing that I had to do was I served a couple of years in the Army. And this kind of thing, I always try to be a little spokesman for ROTC, especially when I'm talking to like young people, or when I after my 4 years of active duty and I was in the reserves, I tried to talk it up a lot to young soldiers that don't know what they want to do with their lives, or trying to get better education. So yeah, to me, I feel like ROTC was the best thing I could possibly do. It paid for my college. I met my wife through it. And it actually, I already know I've done a workout video, but it definitely was the first step into me being able to get into a fitter lifestyle, I guess. And if you knew me before I was in the Army, I was such a skinny little kid. I was like 170 pounds, but now I'm at 255. And that's just from working out, eating healthy, and just kind of having fun with life. And definitely with the ROTC and the 4 years of Army experience I had during active duty, gave me a lot of confidence, gave me a lot of experience that not a whole lot of people actually get to experience in their life. Deployed in Afghanistan in 2013. Got to that trip, that deployment pretty much just made me appreciate so much of what America has for everybody. So when I hear people complain about this and that, I'm like, look, it could be a lot worse. You have no idea. So yeah, that thing made me appreciate of everything that we have over here, and I recommend that. I recommend people actually serving it, just because one, it gives you a lot of experience that most people are actually looking for when they actually just get out of high school, out of college. You might try to apply someplace and you don't have any experience or anything. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. When I got my leadership experience in the Army as a lieutenant, it definitely helped me out a lot when applying for a personal training job. It was a job I had between getting out of the Army and getting a firefighter job, and then it helped me out tremendously when I went for this firefighter job. So you might actually be wondering why I call it Butterbar. So in the Army, they have a phrase or just a name for lieutenants because of our rank. I went from a second lieutenant into a first lieutenant before I got out, and the second lieutenant's rank looks it's a rectangle gold bar, so they call it a butter bar just because it actually looks like a stick of butter. And that's kind of the reason why I named my channel Butterbar, just because one, I wanted to represent that part of my life, because I feel like everything that I've done up until this point in my life, I owe pretty much everything to that because of everything that I've learned from it. And I think it's just kind of a funny nickname, and I wanted to kind of stick around just because, again, like I said, it was part of my life, and I'm not in any way whatsoever trying to get away from that part of life, even though I got out of the Army, just because, I miss family. I miss being around my family. Anytime I wanted to travel, I would have to, spend, a couple grand on an airplane ticket, and it just wasn't worth it. So getting out just kind of fit me a lot better and fit my wife a lot better. Us both being Midwestern kids, and moving back to the Kansas City area, it definitely helped out a lot being close to family, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Trying to think of anything else that when I applied for being a firefighter, I guess I knew exactly what I was going for, because before I got out of the Army, I tried to go to job fairs. The one thing that the Army does kind of well is before you get out of the Army, they actually try to set you up for success. They try to get you to job fairs. They try to get you out there, get a resume built for you. They try to help you get acclimated to getting out of the Army and getting into the civilian workforce. So they try to help you out a lot. And one thing that my wife and I both did, we took a trip to Texas and did a couple of job fairs. And I actually got quite a few offers. It was definitely like jobs that were paid well. They were good experience off of what I was already doing. But for some reason, it just, to me, it wasn't feeling right. And I just was like, no, I can't take this offer. So the decision that my wife and I had was, you know what? We already are in public service. Let's just do it on the local level. So that is why we became firefighters. We want to continue to serve the public. We want to continue to serve our community. And the best way that we thought we could do that was being a firefighter. Or in her way, she became a police officer. So definitely two people that that want to continue to serve the public. And it definitely, to us, it's the best career field for both of us. But I wanted to just use this video so you guys know, you guys have gotten to know me now, know kind of where my head's at, where, my experience with, life and why I wanted to get into the YouTube. Just because, I've been wanting to do this stuff for, several years now. I wish I would have done this sooner. But, I'm into it now that I have a little bit more experience under my belt with, different jobs and whatnot. I'm finally getting into, doing something that I had a lot of passion for, with at least games. That's what my wife at least knows me for. I love playing games. So I'm happy to finally get into this career field, or this little hobby that I have, and definitely entertain you guys. So I thank you so much for supporting the channel, and much more to come later on. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys like this little get to know me video. So hopefully more videos to come with my channel. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so give me a like if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you next time.